We got it. We got it right there. Real quick, real quick. What's going on with y'all in the afternoon? With your hostess with the mostest, Donna Smith, aka Lady D. Y'all got to excuse I got the little rap going on today. It was one of them days where you just don't even feel like doing nothing to the hair. You want to make it kind of decent and ready, but you don't want to do a lot. No, I do. I didn't feel like doing a lot, so I hope it's all right. It's all right. So how y'all doing? Um, wow. I'm just. It's been a long week. I am so glad it's Thursday and about to be Friday. I don't know what to do with myself. The traffic. Has anyone noticed here in the Bay Area? I don't, we had a slowdown of commute traffic that was real cool for a while during this pandemic. And now I don't know where these people are going. They cannot be going to work unless they've stopped doing at home working and back in the office now because it's been hell. It's been hell going home. It's been hell commuting and driving. I'm like, I'm done. I'm over it. I'm over it. Man, I wish they had cars that just knew how to fly. You know what I'm saying? You just push a button and it just fly you the way you want to go. But I guess that's coming. So anyway, what's happening, you guys? I had a thought today about um what's too much. What's too much with certain things. And I'm gonna start it off by saying, as far as women who dress with real tight, revealing clothing. You know what I'm saying? The skin tight skirts, the real tight legging pants, the skirts that fit and show all the Now, mind you, when they meet a man, it's all good. He is goo goo gaga over all that, right? You guys excuse the sun, it's kind of shining in where I'm at. But he's goo goo gaga about all that. It's just a wonderful, sexy thing. And then sometimes when things heat up and get more serious, he doesn't want her to reveal as much in public because now she is quote unquote his, right? So he wants her shirt to be zipped up a little further, not showing as much cleavage. He doesn't want those pants to be extremely tight anymore. He wants them to be a little loose. And so that's where the conflict comes because you met her and that's who she was. That's what she did. That's how she got down. That's what attracted you. And now that you have her, you want her to loosen up the clothing. So, what is actually doing too much? What's too much? I believe if a woman has the curves and she has the nice figure and confidence about wanting to wear certain things, as long as it's tasteful, um, but if it's fitted and you can't hide it. I remember some years ago when I used to do my little clubbing and partying and Sweet Jimmy's and the End Zone for all y'all who know what I'm talking about. Silks. Ooh, was it nothing like Silks? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Um, it was all about the short, tight mini skirts, and you had these big old juicy thunder thighs, and that big plump booty, and all these things up here, these flashlights, and shoot, you couldn't hide it. Even if you wore something loose, I mean, at least I couldn't. I couldn't hide my stuff, but it definitely was accentuated. And I always tried to keep it classy and not tacky. But on the flip side of that, you do have people approach you in more of a sexy, sensual way. You see what I'm saying? It's about the physical uh, turn on that they get from watching you sway and this real juicy stuff. So a lot of men are I mean, I would go out, man, not to boast or brag, but they would be lined up trying to get a little conversation, And but what you find out as time go on is that wasn't real conversation. That was something to do in the moment because they were attracted to you in a fleshly way. Nobody was really concerned about getting to know you or going to higher levels with you. It was more or less, I want to hit that. I want to get that. But when you're younger and you're not really developed with self, you start to think that this is the way to feel sexy or look sexy or to get men or women to approach you. That's just like men who got all the muscles and they work out and they got the 6 pack, 8 pack, and shit, 12 pack, however many packs. And he wants to show all this some kind of way. You may see him out at social events with his, we call them wife beater shirts on, where they're fitting tight and his arms is all out and all that. I mean, then again, he could just be proud of his yokeness. I mean, everybody looks at it differently, right? So, you got this way that you show off your sexy with what you have and what's too much. And then why are some attracted to that? And then once they get you, they want you to pull back from it. You know, but they'll look at other women with all this juicy hanging out, but they don't want their woman with all the juicy hanging out, even if you met them that way. That's so funny because think back to the women or the men you met in the clubs when you were club hopping. And some of them are good people. They just like to be social butterflies and go out sometime and they go home. But some are out they're looking for some stuff. Whole lot. So you meet them in the club. You find out they like to party. They like to party with their girlfriends or they do. They may go out, him and the guys may go out every weekend, every other weekend, and then he fits you in to spend some time with you. And it's a lot of temptation out there. It's a lot of temptation. People are really, really thirsty, as we call it nowadays. And so this person may be just typically doing this for fun, but your partner sees it as a way of maybe putting yourself back on the market. You see what I'm saying? And it becomes a problem. So what is too much? What's going out too much with your friends? You see what I'm saying? You're in a relationship. What's dressing in a very sexy way? And it may not be even it may not be something that you are trying to do. It's just you are a sexy, juicy person, and when you put on a certain top to go out, it's gonna accentuate what you got because you're endowed up here and back there and those thighs and what they want you to wear skirts that come down to the knees all the time. I mean, that's not how they met you. So what is actually too much? you know and that's what this video is about. It's about certain things on a grown folk status that some people consider too much. Now you also got those who, I'm just gonna shoot around different scenarios, but you got those who are also a little discouraged about a person approaching them in a way that's too much. Say, for instance, you like a person, they like you, but you're more laid back with that. You don't have to talk on the phone every day. You don't have to see them every day. You don't have to go out with them every weekend, but you want to do it enough to show the interest coming from both of you, right? So this other person wants to talk to you every day. If they not talking to you on the phone. They want to hit you with a text. Some want a video call. All that. I mean, I don't get into the video calls too much. That's just, I'm not really into the video call. But some people request, let's talk on the video. Let's talk on the video. No, no. So anyway, they want to, this is their way to show interest, especially a man being a hunter, being a chaser who has his eyes on his prey. So he's going to hunt it. He's going to go after it. He's going to want to let you know in more ways than not that he is into you. Okay? And if it's some things going on where he can't really get at you the way he wants to in the moment, he's going to let you know that too. And then as soon as some things iron out, he's going to be at you. He's going to be at you. So what is too much, though? I believe, personally, I mean, this is coming from a woman. I believe that if a woman or a man has interest in someone, there's nothing wrong with letting them know that in certain little subtle ways. Now, I do believe in allowing the man to be the pursuer pretty much in the beginning, because that's what men do. And women, we are to, not just sit back and let him do it all, but let him hunt you, let him show you, and then we open totally up. That's an old school way, but nowadays I see a lot more of women being the hunters. They already have it on their mind and their agenda. I'm going out and I'm gonna get me something tonight. I don't care. I'm getting me something tonight. What's named and piss me off, and I'm about to, and they go out and they get them whatever they looking for. Some of them get one night stands. Some of them get 3-4 week stands. Some of them get 3-month stands. Some of them get to burning and itching. They looking for something. So you have some that'll say that's doing too much coming from a woman. She needs to chill. She needs to calm down, right? If a man is interested, he'll let her know. Then there's some women who will look at that and say, well, if I sat up here and waited on a man, women outnumber men. I don't know, 5-1, they say, or 6-1, 3-1, whatever. But we outnumber the men, right? So if we sit up here waiting on them, the ones that are available, because you got the ones that's married, you got the ones that is married and they're with her, you got the ones that's married and ain't there with her. You got the ones that are single, but they're seeing 4-5 women. And they've been hurt and they don't want to emotionally get into nobody. So you just going to kind of fall in line. And then you got those who are just not emotionally at all available. They want to physically be available for you. But emotionally, girl, bye. Girl, bye. They ain't trying to do all that. And then you got those who are incarcerated, that's not here physically at all. They may be there mentally, because you're going to get letters, you're going to get calls, you're going to get all this other stuff, but they're not going to be there physically. And then you get those who are just not interested in women at all. So, women are nowadays, they are being more clingy, and they're being more aggressive when they do see a man who is available, who seems to be, who is interested, who seems to be. She is more aggressive in her approach, because she knows that it's not that many that's available like that, and there's a whole lot of other women that want them too. So sometimes she just push, and it seems like it is being really more on a desperate mode, and is doing too much. Is that doing too much? Because, you know, some men, hey, Malcolm, what's up with you today? We talking about these women doing too much. And men, because, you know, sometimes we both doing too much. But what is too much? What is too much? I mean, too much for you may not be too much for Sue. Too much for you may not be too much for Johnny. Everybody has their own limitations of what is doing too much. So, with that being said, I think it's more or less about just making sure that you are doing the right thing for you in the moment without losing you, without appearing to be desperate, whether it's man or woman, but also being 100 in what you do and how you do it. So if you are a sexy dresser, and that's how you get down, you met your mate like that, and this is what you do sometime, and pretty much they got to accept you for who you are. If they want to be with you, they got to accept. See, people come into things and they try to change the other person. You know, they come into it and they see that, okay, I really don't like XYZ, or they're lacking in EFG, but I'm going to get on in there with them because all this other stuff is gravy, and we going to work on that. I'm going to work on that. They ain't going to be doing that no more. And you already come in with a mindset of wanting to change another. That's not good. That's not good at all. Accept people for who they are. Who they are, what they are. If it's not for you, and you realize that in the first date or two or three, and you know this is who, hey, then you need to focus your attention on somebody else. Right? Don't go into things with the mindset of trying to change. Ladies, if you don't like the way he wears his pants, he sags a little bit, showing his boxers. And that just ain't cool, but everything else about him is good. Or you don't like his dreads that's down his back. You visualize him with a nice haircut, and maybe you know how to cut, and you got it in the back of your mind. You know what? We're gonna get rid of these dreads. I'm gonna have to deal with them dreads, because that, you know, he looking too thuggy or whatever you want to say. Look, that man been wearing dreads before he met you. Either you are attracted to dreads and you liking the dreads, or you are not. And if that's the case, that's not the man for you. Stop trying to change people. You see what I'm saying? I had this one person who came to me and they said, well, I love everything about this dude I'm with, but I can't stand the fact that he breaks wind a lot walking around the house. He says, excuse me. I don't know if he got some gassy medical issues or not, but I don't care what he eats. He breaks gas. He snores a lot. And when he chews, he smacks. So those are the three things she complained about. He smacks when he chews. He snores a lot, which he may have some sleep apnea going on or something. Maybe he needs to go to a doctor. Maybe he needs a machine. Maybe, because that's real serious. You know, you gotta, and especially if, you know, yeah, go get that checked out. But he breaks gas, he snores, and he smacks when he chews. Now, dude probably been smacking for some years. That's just how he chew. And I don't think he's going to stop smacking just because he's with you. That's what he do. So either you going to deal with the smacking, or y'all going to keep having arguments about the smacking. And probably the more arguments you have about the smacking, the more he's going to smack. Because he's going to take it as though she's trying to control me and tell me how to chew. I've been chewing like this for 40 years. That's how I choose. So my advice to her is, look, this is the package. Certain things can be worked on and balanced if you have someone that's willing to balance it, and perhaps they've come to you about, hey, I need to work on these things. I know this is a problem. Babe, be patient. I'm working on it with her. That's a different scenario. But you trying to change him or her with the situation is not going to work. I also had a conversation with somebody who said they were with someone who, a female who did not want to bathe every day. She felt as though, by her being of a petite stature, that it wasn't necessary. Hey, hey, it wasn't necessary for her to bathe every day. That her doing a whole bath, which, if some of you guys don't know what that is, that's washing in the sink, suzzing it up real good, hitting those little key areas, and doing your little whole bath over the sink. She would do that in between. She wanted to get physical with them a lot. She wanted them to be all into her in a very open sexual way a lot, but she didn't want to bathe every day. She said she didn't have to. She said she didn't really smell like that. She didn't have that type of odor because she was thin. I must have missed that memo because I don't recall it being in the rule book, if it is a rule book of, or the book of life, that size has anything to do with washing your butt. I mean, you know, you're gonna have to wash your butt if you this small or if you this huge. I mean, I just don't get it. And being grown, and you are aware, especially, and being a female, because we have internal things going on, and you have internal things going on where bacteria grows and things happen. And when you have a menstrual cycle every month, and when you're having intercourse on a regular basis, um hey Malcolm, thank you. Yeah, I got the little chili on today. Thank you. You know I'm crazy like that, but I just love you. Thank you. Um, but as females, we have our little situations. I mean, and you gotta get that stuff dealt with. You gotta wash. You got to get it all up in. I mean, I want, Lord rest my mother. So I tell you, one thing about my mama that she taught me early as a woman is to clean yourself, and she showed me how, and she made me know, laid me down, showed me how to do it. And I thought she was the worst mama in the world doing that. Oh, no, don't. But now I could just hug and kiss her from here to heaven for doing all that, because it taught me as a woman the things I needed to do, had to do, and I was able to teach my daughter. So the thing is, size has nothing to do with it when it comes to keeping yourself fresh. Same with men. Just because he's an external guy, he still gets stuff, bacteria that can go up into certain, holes and crevices, and he gets an odor on the outside of his whole manhood organ. So, and you have your backside and underarm. Look, everybody, that ain't doing too much to wash your butt. If you with somebody that is in there suzzing it up 3-4 times a day, love it. Don't complain. It's better for them to want to wash that stuff many times than them not to want to wash it at all. And for somebody to say, because they are a smaller person, They do not need to bathe every day, or because some people don't harbor certain odors. Right on. That's good. You lucky. But that don't mean you don't need to wash your butt. You got to do it. Okay? So I ain't doing too much. I just want y'all to know. I had to go there because that was interesting. I get some interesting things that come my way, and sometimes I'm like, and I can't really, but I do. And I'm like, oh man, did they really say that? And then you'd be wondering if people are just making stuff up, but no, it be real. It be stuff. It be stuff happening, y'all, for real. And then just think about this. Have you ever been in a situation where you dating somebody that likes to eat? They like to chuckle down. They may have a little weight problem, and but they like to eat. So everywhere you take them, they messing. Man, you be so embarrassed. They eating everything on their plate because they was trained to do that. From the point I watched somebody that had a piece of bread and a little gravy left and a little piece of meat, and they would take that piece of bread and wipe the plate clean, getting all the gravy and all the meat, where the plate really didn't need to be washed too much when they got through, because they were taught when they were growing up that they had to clean their plate before getting up from the table. And as a grown person, that became an issue for them even before they became an adult. Pre-adult, they struggled with weight issues. And then when they became a full-blown adult, they really struggled with weight issues. Because not only did they clean their plate, they always, always, always had to go back for seconds. It's absolutely amazing. I mean, I don't know if that's a mental thing or if they're really hungry, but what's too much? And then when you go to people's house, you have this little pep talk like you would with kids, like, look, they ain't got that much food. We're gonna just go do our little social thing, and you're gonna have a little plate, I'm gonna have a plate, and we're gonna get on home. It ain't no having 2, 3 plates, and ain't taking no plate home. It ain't. And every time you go to somebody's house, relatives or whatever, they eating up a lot of stuff. And so people, when they see you coming together as a couple, they get this look like, oh Lord. Or they tell you on the under, we ain't got that much. It's just a little bit. Y'all can have a little something, something, but save a little so everybody can have. They got ways of letting you know. Don't come over here eating up all my food. It's embarrassing. So we have to learn to use tact. And what is too much, y'all? What is too much? Think about some things that has been too much for you in your life, or too much dealing with someone else, or too much with someone pursuing you, trying to get at you, doing things for you. And it's funny because it's different for everybody. I'm going to tell you, hey, Antoine, how you doing? Good day to you. Yes. Sometimes what's too much for you ain't too much for the other person. Because I'm telling you, I've heard people say, oh, I love it when she calls me every day. Oh, I love it in the morning when I get that good morning call or text or email or something from my boo. Lets me know they woke up thinking about me. Out of the blue during the day, they just send me something. Hey, sweetie, how you doing? How was your day? Some people just love that. Some people love that. I don't have a problem with it, me myself. I mean, unless you got stalker mentality about you and you calling me every 5 minutes or something, I love to hear from you. I love to know that I'm thought about. I love to know that, you having sweet thoughts about me. I love to know that you're concerned about how I'm doing, because I may not have told you how my day was or how my week was or how my month was, and it's been crazy. And just that little something coming from you of caring could just make everything better. So again, everybody's different. I want to thank you guys for chiming in. William, Antoine, it's always a pleasure. It's so refreshing to be able to chat with you guys in real time and say, hey, what's up in the afternoon, talk about some grown folk stuff. I know I was all over the map today, but hey, it was put on my heart to talk about what is too much. What is too much? And who determines what's too much? Okay? Because everybody's different. But I got to go, y'all. Time for me to head on back in and do what I do. And thanks for the compliments on my little doo-doo rap today. What y'all think? Yeah, 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 yeah. So anyway, have a good day, and I'm gonna see y'all. I'm gonna try to get back on here tomorrow. I tried to get on here yesterday, but my day was extremely long, and I couldn't really find the time to get a video in. But I'm gonna make sure I reach out tomorrow, even if it's a shorter one, just to say hey and welcome you guys into a great weekend. And on that note, have a good day. Stay strong, stay positive, and you know what? Quit tripping. You ain't doing too much. Keep doing you. See you later.